Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all of the ages, welcome to ARMTV. It is a Tuesday night. We're talking about tonight. We got some unique things to talk about because it was a hell of a weekend. IFA Worlds, Devon versus Thor, some other things bubbling up. Of course, as always, here I am, Uncle John, and my partner across the globe, coming to you in the middle of the night where he is, Gary Roberts.
How dedicated am I that I'm sneaking out of the bed with my wife at 2:30 in the morning, buckling in for a show that is bound to get crazy. Bam!
You gotta buckle in, man.
Yeah. I forgot. I'm sorry. I am sorry. I also have to put this on for a second, just to demonstrate. Can I be honest?
You go ahead, Gary.
We don't need to make this all about COVID and all that business. Although, in America, they brought back the mask mandates weeks ago.
Yeah.
As a gentle experiment, not like I'm a hard protester, but I've just been here's my opinion on this whole thing. I followed all the rules the first time around, followed all of them. But this time I'm like, oh, not again. And I'm really just kind of like, it's not political. It's just enough is enough. And I'm not trying to protest, but in America, I've got very lazy with the mask.
Yeah.
Like I go into the store like this. I'm talking to the people like, hey, what's up? I'm just very lazy. Sometimes I walk around the store with it just hanging like that. And it's like, it's no disrespect. I still try to keep my social distance. I don't want to get anyone sick. I did take the vaccination card. Anyways, I never once since they've all started this back up, have been told to fix my mask, anything.
Yeah, but you're in a different country now.
No. Well, then one night before I left, we go to the Cheesecake Factory, and these waitress ladies, they're the staff at the front desk, they were like, excuse me, sir. And I was like, do they really pay you to bug me? I've literally been, no one has bugged me. I wanted to keep it a record. Anyways, I get to Switzerland and bro, it's off the charts. You got to have it. You can't go into a restaurant without them carding you for your vaccination card. Literally, you can't come into the country unless you take the vaccination. So, my protest, it's off. It's not political. It's just like,
it's pretty much.
I can't.
It's been like that here. We've only had the one time they put us on the restrictions, and then they just left us there. We still have masks, but we can move around now pretty well. And ladies and gentlemen, joining us from yet another corner of the arm wrestling globe. Ooh, look at that nice little puppy coming on in there. Mr. Aussie Arm Wrestler.
Ready, bang! I'll tell you what, the whole world is kicking off. We just had an earthquake here in Melbourne. I was driving and my car was shaking a little bit. I just thought I hadn't serviced it in a while and it was going to shut down. And then old Mrs. Aussie Arm Wrestler gives me a call and is like, did you feel that? The walls were shaking. So it's all kicking off here in Melbourne. How are you two legends?
What's up, bro? I actually was on your channel tonight you had the audacity to compete with Uncle John's live stream. What's up? I was going to do my research to check out your commentating the match, which we'll get into. I'll save it, but I want to say I did notice the backdrop has been upgraded. So well done. I'm not sure how long you've had that, but
great.
I just now noticed it. So congrats. And I like that during your stream, you had a boxing
Rocky Balboa vest on, mate. I don't mess about.
Yeah. Props. Okay, but before we get into all this, slow down a bit. Uncle John, you have some staking. You still are open blocks?
We closed block number 2, and now we have a smaller block that opened, a 5% block. just opened up. It was earlier today or last night, maybe. And so yeah, it's still open. I was really happy that we got through the first two, and they're letting it ride. So right on.
I see in the chat somebody said they'd match my steak.
Oh,
Mizell Jador says he'll match. Oh, Mazel, you just gotta, let's talk. I've been on vacation. Let's Bendy over here in Switzerland, the Swiss franc. Let me think about how much I'm going to stake on my man, Uncle John, tonight. I'm already up. I'm already into it for $75. Let's see. Let's talk about it. Bet. In the chat, how much should I stake for Uncle John tonight? Don't tell my wife. Don't tell my
100.
Okay, so there's staking. I'm glad to hear there's another block. I was checking out the fix long enough to see you pussy out and back off from the TikTok video.
You already know my stance on this, Gary. I am an entertainer. I am an actor. I am what I need to be when I need to be it. I want to bring people on an entertainment journey. And I think it's just as fun when you know that maybe some things are real and some things aren't. And maybe sometimes they're both the same and different in the same space.
As long as you promise to bring the actor to the table, because I love it. Mm-hmm. You know I love the trash talk and the high energy and the flip, pop. I love it. So as long as we know it's kind of an act, still bring it on the table, because I love watching that shit.
It'll be there. It will be there. I'm ready. I'm fully prepared.
But you did give Bradford the nod. You let him know I'm gonna talk shit a little.
Oh yeah, like we've pretty much discussed that. You know, I've told him like I'm gonna be doing all sorts of weird stuff. You know, when I put that video out, that TikTok video out, I just messaged him. I'm like, hey, this is just the weird video I did, and he thought it was funny. You know, so we're kind of going back and forth, but the goal is as soon as the match starts, it's all out the window, right? Like we both agree on that. We both operate the same way.
Is that what got you invited on the fix with Neil Pickup?
The video, the like promo.
I see. Here's what I see. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I used to be the man. I was the man, and now I see Uncle John, taillights. You're speeding down the road. You're passing me up on the freeway. And it's like, dude, I feel like I'm going to lose this race with Uncle John. It's like, you're so good getting invited on the fix.
What a good guy to lose to, though.
I'm just saying.
I'm very happy.
I really appreciate all the.
I'm happy for you.
I think it's just a matter of you just keep going, because when you're up, it's great. But with this YouTube thing, it's like, ooh, you know, and you're kind of up and down and all over. So, you know, that's why I just adhere to everybody. Everybody come along. Everybody's invited. Let's all go together.
Now John Brzezinski is getting in on the creator business. Oh my God. Oh. Competition is getting thick. Aussie arm wrestler going off on his own with live stream commentary. Uncle John invited on the fix. John Brzezinski editing videos.
Cats and dogs living together.
Oh my God.
That's right. I think it's amazing for the sport. I think all these channels trying to make something, and I mean, if Arm Wrestling TV can get, you know, over 1 million subscribers, then there's an audience from it. Just everyone's doing their own thing. So I quite enjoy it. I love seeing the good channels grow, the consistent channels. I love it. I love it. I was like when Uncle John was smashing it last week, mate, I was the first one on the phone. Messaged him, wanted to buy him a beer. I love seeing everyone's channel grow.
I know. I, of course, am having fun.
Yeah.
But I love to see you getting the invite on the fix. It makes me feel good. Corey Miller in the chat just says he dropped 20 on
Corey
John.
Miller.
Speaking of Corey Miller, we've invited Corey Miller onto the show to discuss the IFA Worlds because I have a ton of questions.
Corey
And
Miller, brand new IFA World Champion.
I heard him on the mic. I saw his bracket. So I know he's in thick. He knows shit. And he won. World champion Corey. But so welcome. But
imagine becoming world champion and running the tournament.
Yeah.
At the same time.
But then does that count? Does that count if you win your own tournament that you're running? Does that put a little asterisk?
Well,
you know what I mean? Like Neil Pickup as the Arm Wars champion. You know,
we'll have to ask Corey exactly what his role was, because like I wouldn't say he was running it, but he was definitely a critical cog in the wheel, I would say.
I mean, they're using his system, and he's like Leonard and Denise. They, Corey's like their children from way back in the day when he was like 12.
Yeah.
When I first met him, and he was bitch slapping peeps when he was 9 years old. I have to respond to White Wolf in the chat. He says, Gary, why are you in your car? And I'll be honest, I just be frank. Here's why I like the car, okay? I don't like doing these live streams when I'm on the road. I like that I can mount it to the rearview mirror. It's really nice. I don't need to bring any equipment with me. I'm not waking up any babies. I'm not bugging my wife. It's 2:30 in the morning here in Switzerland. Bitches, what more you want? Anyways, I like the privacy of the car. I can turn on the heater. I can turn on the AC if it's hot. It gives me
seatbelt.
Yeah, the ride for this crazy show that's about to get on. Anyways, I like the car. You guys may think I'm homeless, but I like the car. That's is what it is. Okay, so Corey Miller's going to come on in a bit, and Corey we're going to be talking about the boxing match. So I was on a stream with Uncle John. We were on his channel. Got to give props. You had mad views.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Breaking for my channel by far.
Did you get a bump from subs?
Yeah, I think I went up like 600 subs.
Yeah,
I think I went up 600, but then once the fight was over, then like 50 people probably dropped off, because they just subbed to try to find the live commentary or whatever. So it's been a little bit up and down since then, but yeah, a good 550 overall.
Yeah, if they all stay, that's magnificent.
Yeah.
Yeah, what we just need is Devon Larratt to do crazy shit every other week.
Yeah.
Correct. That is correct.
Our channels will just to the moon, Alice.
Yeah, I'll chip in for dry cleaning because we're all riding his coattails. That's not a problem. Get that jacket dry cleaned.
So Ozzy, because I was on with Uncle John, I didn't review that one because I was there, but I reviewed your tape. And what I noticed is you were like, Devon's in trouble. You were foreshadowing things to come. You're like, get your hand up. Oop. I'm not loving the style. And like you were essentially like predicting, this is not going well, which I don't know if I realized that because I told Uncle John I was actually 10 to 12 seconds behind. So I was panicking because they were talking about shit I hadn't seen yet. I was like, I don't know if I can do a stream when I'm like, I'm going to pretend they're like, oh, that was a shot. And I'm like, damn, that was a shot. I hadn't seen the shot. I'm like waiting 10 seconds. I'm like, okay, that was a good shot. Anyways, did you, when they called it early, were you like, that's bullshit?
Nah, I was very happy for the safety of Devon because I've I've trained for boxing. I've had a couple of amateur fights myself. My brother's the fighter of the family. So when I saw a picture, I think it was earlier in the day, of Devon in a stance for a photo, then I knew he was in dangerous territory. Just in that photo, I knew he was cooked. I knew he was cooked. So there was a shot early, and the way it was so easy and hit Devon flush, I was just like, yeah, nah, you are in all sorts of trouble, my man. Good on him for getting in there. There's nothing exciting about being punched in the head. And if anyone knows about being punched in the head, it's this guy here. So, yeah, when they stopped it, regardless, of course, us all being bloodthirsty, yeah, give it another round. We want to be entertained. But I was like, good man, because if that kept going, it was just easy pickings, like throwing darts at an empty dartboard. Just picking the chicken bones easy.
The thing I keep replaying in my head over and over is a shot from the corner. Devon's back is to the camera, and Thor is coming forward, and it looked like Mike Tyson's Punch Out, right? Thor was just so much bigger, and his hand would come forward, and his glove was like twice the size of Devon's head, it seemed like. It was just like Mike Tyson and Little Mac, and Devon is enormous.
Yeah. When I watched it with you, Uncle John, I didn't see the disparity at first. But on the review back, like watching it, I was like, oh, I see what was like. Clearly, I don't know much about boxing either, but on second viewing, I was thinking, okay, one, I understand why they stopped it, and two, maybe it's a good thing. What I was surprised about when I watched Hafthor's first two fights is he was very patient in the quote exhibition ones. And here, he went right after Devon, which I was like, oh snap. Like,
well, it's easy. It's like, Gary, when you go to the arm wrestling table and you pull an arm wrestler, you got to be very methodic and try and work out how to beat the person. But when you have a newbie on the table, you smell blood and you get to pin them quite easy. When Hafthor had his earlier fights, he fought boxers. When he came in and fought Devon, it was like he was fighting his little brother. He just knew he was going to pick him apart.
Yeah. Did you guys watch any of the footage from the audience perspective, the few uploads?
A little bit.
It's weird. For me, that seemed more like it had more of the natural audio, and you could feel more of the hits. Like
I'm just glad Devon's not hurt. I'm just glad, a bruised ego, a cut eye. I'm glad he got out of it unscathed, so to speak. That's what I'm very happy for.
Well, supposedly I think it was in the fixed chat, Evan Burgoyne mentioned in the chat that Devon still couldn't hear out of that ear.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a normal thing, if you pop an eardrum or something, but
not good.
He's another, I guess his trainer over there, I don't know his name, but he posted something today as well, and he said Devon said it was getting better. So
okay. Well, that's good.
Hopefully, there's that. But I just want to comment on that there's one hit where Hafthor came with the left and really just clocked Devon, and I was like, that looks like it really hurt. I was like, okay, yeah, this is some real shit. Oh my God. I'm glad Devon's okay as well. We all are, right?
Oh, absolutely. Of course. 100%. I think this is a fine outcome. It's nothing that I didn't really expect. I think the thing to remember is that the lead up is what's fun about this stuff, right? It's about the lead up. It's about the what if. It's about just allowing ourselves to maybe, think about a magical moment where Devon could win. And so you ride that wave and, now it's over, but we appreciate it for what it is. And I thought it was a hell of a time.
The thing that so I was watching and I watched the CrossFitters and they're really fast and I mentioned, oh, I like this pace. And they were like, oh, this doesn't happen with big guys. And I mean, Devon is kind of a slower dude. I didn't realize that would like, I guess when I pictured him being like a trained killer, he's probably more like the boa constrictor who will just choke you out rather than Bruce Lee.
Yeah. No,
Like,
yeah, he's a like lowest common denominator. Let me just bare hand get this over with, Very effective, but that's only when there's no rules.
Do you guys think he will do this again?
Depends
The
on
money's right. If the money's right and the publicity and things like that, he might move into another sort of mixed martial arts. He might have a jiu-jitsu fight with someone. If the money's right, Devon just loves it because I can't see him like stepping into a cage. I can't see him doing that after the way another non-boxer tore him apart, but I can see him doing a jiu-jitsu, a judo type where, it's more grappling and wrestling.
I think boxing Devon Larratt, my impressions of, like you said, he was in the ring with a newbie. When I watched his other previous matches, I wasn't that impressed. When I watched him box Devon, he looks way more scarier. Like, I think that was good for him if he does have this build up towards Eddie Hall now, and they should keep showing the highlights of the Devon match. I think that this will build up the mystique of that match even more. So Devon did a service to Hafthor in my mind. Like, I think the guy's career got helped a little bit more here. Might be Hafthor. I mean,
oh yeah, and that what's like Hafthor's marketing team, and he's called him and said don't make this an entertaining fight. If you want to get the bigger fights, say after Eddie Hall, and make a few dollars. I mean, look at the numbers that YouTuber Jake Paul's making. He goes, if you want some of that money, you've got to win this in the first round, and so then people think you are a genuine boxer and move you up a notch. If Hafthor went 3 or 4 rounds and kept it entertaining and light and, lighthearted, would have pretty much killed his career. But a bloke that trained for 5 weeks could come and go toe-to-toe with him.
I get that. I bet his corner was like, listen, you got to really like try to close this out. Like, if you really want to take this a step further, you got to prove that Devon shouldn't have been here. You know what I mean? Which I love that Devon's cool with taking that role too. Like, he's like, yeah. I wasn't prepared as much as I should have. Hats off to the boxers. Like, you guys, it's a lot of work to do that. Yeah. Eyes open, fun experience. But let's go arm wrestle Larry Wheels.
Yes, I agree. We got a super chat. Mark Mayer says, guys, I'm not sure it was a good stop. I mean, do you think it's impossible Thor would have gassed beating in Devon's face? If that happened, I can see the match being competitive again.
No, it's not like the Simpsons episode where Homer just cops 1,000 hits until they all get tired and fall over. Thor was in relatively good boxing shape and just would have, unfortunately, Devon just couldn't keep his hands together. He couldn't keep his chin down. He was kind of like this. So as tough as Devon is, he couldn't have taken, another 10 to 15 more of those in the next round. Got to disagree with you there, Mark, that wasn't going to be a Simpsons episode.
Yeah, I think for me, it comes down to, of course, I wanted to see Devon do more. I wanted him to go on. Of course I did. But for me, like, after I went back and looked at it, I was just kind of like it didn't surprise me. Like, on second review, I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. I see what he was seeing.
After listening, Devon really got winded after. Hafthor looked a little winded too, right? Like, when they were giving their after show remarks, they were both like heavy breathing. Now, mind you, I was training for Barry Bourne. I feel like I can speak as an expert here. So what I did was, when I was training, I was doing my training in the spurts of what the rounds would be with Barry. And I don't know, man. I feel like even with 5 weeks, I feel like if he was really training the 3 minute on the 3 minute timers, they shouldn't have got as winded after just one match. Like, I don't think any of those guys would have made 6 rounds like pretty. No. Like by round 6, they all would have been just gassed and hanging on each other.
Yeah, if they were hanging and banging for 6 rounds, yeah, absolutely. But the only way you would have lost to Barry Bourne was oxygen deficit, because Barry Bourne just looked so unfit. He would have been sucking in that much wind. He would have been stealing your oxygen and you would have passed out. It's the only way I could see you losing to Barry Bourne. I mean, that guy looks like he couldn't even box eggs. He's fucking, I'm so glad he's not around anymore.
I personally would like Devon Larratt to stick to arm wrestling. Is that bad? That I want to go. I mean, I like the boxing. I think if they interchanged other actors into the thing to continue this, but it's a marketing thing. The way I look at it, like, just to bring more eyeballs. If it gets on John and Ozzy, another couple subs, why not?
Absolutely, absolutely. As long as everybody stays safe, I'm 100%. I mean, obviously, I would rather see Devon arm wrestle someone, but I know that just arm wrestling over and over and over again is not enough to bring new people in all the time, and we have to cast the net a little bit wider from time to time.
Yeah.
He did arm wrestle the next day, and I've seen comments chatter online saying there's no way that Devon can beat Levon. Neil Pickup was talking like that's the next match people would want to see is Devon versus Levon. Can we take anything away from the arm wrestling, or does it not count since Devon was just beat in the face?
No, Devon was just punched a couple of times, and he is a monster when it comes to the arm wrestling world. He'll be fine. When that match comes and he takes on that big Georgian Hulk, he will be ready and he will be fine.
White Wolf has a super chat.
It says, Gary, kudos for all you've done over the years in the sport. I know we all poke fun at you because you say some crazy shit, but you have respect. That's pretty fair. That's pretty fair.
I do say some crazy shit occasionally, but I know Ryan Bowen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did that not land? I thought that was a funny joke. No. I don't know if Ryan says crazy stuff. I just know the chat says he says crazy shit. So I thought that'd be funny, but you guys didn't laugh, so I missed it. White Wolf. Who's White Wolf? Do I know you?
White Wolf is he's a big supporter over on my channel as well. He's always around. I guess I don't know if it's male or female or what, but big supporter.
Yeah, I noticed you did get a haircut, Uncle John.
Yeah, I got my Arm Wars haircut today. It's the first time I had a hair. I was living in that hat because my hair was so ungodly long. Because we had a shutdown where I couldn't get a haircut. And then my barber had the audacity to go and have a child. So then he was gone for a few weeks.
Selfish.
Jesus. So he came back and I finally got a haircut. So I'm feeling real slick.
Send him my way. My way. Everything's closed.
I would like to say I'm going off on a tangent, but I've talked about in the past of like, hey, your subs don't matter. Views matter. We're only at 50. Uncle John, you've been crushing your live shows. You've been crushing it. Like, you're doing.
They've been really good. You know why though? I think it's because I've really been doing a lot of kind of work bringing in the guys from Arm Wrestling Uncensored on Facebook, right? So we've done the last couple of shows that I've done where it's been like about trolls or about the Arm Wrestling Uncensored page or whatever. Those have been very, very popular. People really seem to like that stuff.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just going out of favor. People want me to stick to behind the cameras. Been posting all you in the chat, posting some good content lately. Go check it out.
I've been posting good content lately.
I posted a clip. So when you upload a clip and then YouTube tells you whether it's like, 9 of 10, or oh, this is like your number one range. Like I posted a cool clip with some behind the scenes, Arnold's 2005, with Travis Bajan. And I thought for sure that would hit out of the park. I spent, some decent editing time, and it's like in the 9 or 10 range. No one watching it. Like, what's up?
I think what I'm noticing, I mean, you've got all this good footage, Gary, but everyone was talking about Devon. So during that time, you should have posted, content with Devon when it was about Dave and Levan. I think at the moment, we're just in a phase where everyone just wants to see more of the relevance. So in a week, it'll all be about everyone competing in arm wars. We would want to see footage on that.
Well, the arm wars at the Arnold's, that's why I posted some Arnold. I don't have some Devon footage at the ready yet. I wasn't. There's a lot of stuff that has to go behind. I'm upscaling all this footage, and it's got to run through a machine. And I do have some cool. I think the next cool Devon stuff I have is from like My Gold Classic 2010, but like that might be. Devon is who I don't have a lot of. And so I don't want to just, I want to kind of, I don't know. I don't want to run out of Devon footage. You know what I mean? So Devon probably will be the first arm wrestler I actually run out of archive of. But anyways, I just wanted to say it shows like, hey, you're doing awesome, man. Like your subs, all your views are right there, bro.
I'm loving it. Loving seeing Uncle John's channel, bro.
Corey Miller, can you hear us?
He's connecting to audio.
Have you guys? I'm going to ask him what he thought about the fight, but then we're going to get into world stuff.
Yep.
Did you watch any of the world stuff?
I did watch some.
I forgot to screenshot it. Somebody posted, I'm world champion, and then a thread started with Neil Pickup saying, be careful with throwing around the world's title. And I'm like, ooh, it's getting juicy. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of disagreement on that right now.
I mean, the thing that I find interesting is that everyone running that IFA Worlds, they're all like, I consider I'm very tight with homies. Probably they would dine at my house or vice versa. Like, so I'm like, had I never left the sport, I would have probably been right on board with whatever it is that they're doing. So I have a hard time not connecting with like wanting them to succeed. So I'm in this.
Well, and I'm not sure it's one or the other, right? I think there's people that have problems with different parts of the world split for different reasons at different times. And, there is a lot to it.
I don't mind it. I don't mind that they've called it the worlds, because once again, we'll rank everything and IFA will jump in there. A lot of people saying WAF, WAF's higher, and then maybe PAL and then IFA. So, I mean, people have still got to win those tournaments. And, I mean, it's 2021. We're just in an unfortunate situation where we can't travel and get to all these things. I didn't mind it. But as I say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So it'll just be the public to see where they would rank. If someone comes in and on their resume it says I'm an IFA world champion, some people might say, that's awesome. But then other people might say, that's cute. My little brother has a toy car as well. So I don't mind it that they've called it. I like what IFA have done.
Hey,
Corey Miller.
Before we move to this next phase, I just want to clear up some super chats here. David Cotlow, $1.99 says, Uncle John's haircut greater than David Bradford, metrosexual. All right. We also got Canadian Chihuahua. Says, Gary, you should add basic perks, a basic perks membership for $3 a month, like Uncle John, where we get a green name. I'll be the first to join. You got to set up your memberships, Gary.
The only reason I have hesitated to do that because Patreon takes a smaller cut.
Yeah.
So I set up the $5 package on Patreon. If I have a $3 cut on YouTube, Mr. Google, he takes $2.99.
Yeah. Yeah.
He like 35%. But I am not opposed to having all branches open. Let's introduce who is the guy I see in my bottom right? Looks like Corey Miller.
What's up, guys?
IFA World Champion Corey Miller.
Now,
Yeah.
Man, Oh, we showing stuff off, are we? Oh! Third place, 2019 Melbourne Cup, left arm 89.5 kilo amateur supersedes IFA World Champion. No, great work, Corey. Great win on the weekend, mate. That's super stuff. I heard all the weight categories were most of them were pretty stacked.
Yeah, the largest class I think had 26, 27 people in it.
Yeah, that's deep.
Hey,
can you hold your medal a little closer so I can see it? Hold it close for like 10 seconds so I can just really look at it. What is anything on the back?
No, just gold.
No. How's it feel? Does it have some weight to it?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty heavy. It's probably 4 or 5 inches wide.
Looks cool.
About 3 or 4 inches tall.
So, Corey Miller,
Real?
you were friends, right?
Huh?
We're friends, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, if I was off the phone with you and we were not public, and I was like, "Hey, dude, I don't understand the whole world split. Can you educate me?" Like, I'm lost. I don't get it. Would you tell me a different version than like if I asked you the same question and there's people watching?
I don't know if I'd tell you a different version, but I mean, I guess most people understand some of it, or most of it, I guess, but there's little bits and pieces that I don't even fully get either, though.
Here's the thing. I'm less concerned about the worlds. The nationals, just so I know, there's going to be IFA nationals, and there will now be a unified nationals that used to be.
Yes. Yep.
And who's still over on the unified side?
Simon runs unified.
Simon. So I'm friends with Simon too. So I feel like this is like a marriage, like a family dispute. This is like all my homies. So was it a dispute on the national side or the world's level?
It's more on the world live end of things than it is on the national side of things. The nationals was only required so that we, bring in qualified people into worlds, not so much just like we had to do this year for COVID reasons, but nationals will bring in your top 2 or 3 guys, like we do for unifieds, that sort of thing.
Okay, so at world, let's say the worlds are your parents and they're like having a divorce. Like all the people who are running now the nationals, we're a family too. Was it like hard that you guys now have to like divorce like siblings? Like I
still talk to Simon and stuff. It's not like I'm mad at him or anything like that. We're still friends, I would assume, but
But did one national ask the other nationals to not exist? Like, hey, because we feel that somebody did something wrong.
Hell, there was at one time I think there was 3 nationals or something like that in the United States. At least 3 at one time.
But then when it went to just the unifieds, everyone like felt good that was the only one. Anyways, I'm just trying to get some scenes before I get into it because I'm still lost. Do you care? You guys don't even care, right? Is that the thing? Should I not care?
About what part?
There being multiple nationals and multiple worlds.
Yeah, well, it sucks. We don't. I just want one of everything, right? Just do one. But unfortunately, there's a lot of fingers in a lot of pies, and people, there's a lot of confusion. I think there's a lot of some people being underhanded, other people maybe being underhanded. I don't know the full story, but it sounds very complicated and like something that is completely probably unnecessary, but that's how people operate. So,
But
you
does
know.
that mean there's multiple Canadian nationals too?
I don't believe so. I believe currently we use the same nationals to qualify for both, but I can't remember where we are in the voting process because everything got upended by COVID, because this was all getting voted on like when things got canceled.
Wait a minute, that's not a bad approach. One nationals goes to both worlds.
Yeah, I can't remember the specifics of it, but it's all up in the air still, I think.
Okay, Corey, I heard you on the mic. Were you assisting and helping run the events?
Yes.
Have you ever ran a Worlds before?
No.
Were you intimidated? Sounds scary.
I mean, I knew what needed to happen because I've been to Worlds before. Not that I've been to an IFA Worlds before, but I've been to Worlds in general. I know what people expect to see and what, stuff like that. So given the complications of COVID and the time frame and what we had available to us, I think I did, I presented something as close to what we could do for Worlds in the timely fashion that we had, and money wise and everything else. But I think well, basically, if you weren't there, so you guys weren't there, but
I mean, I watched some footage.
So we had 5 tables. We ran 5 different machines, and the 5 machines had duplicating screens to 2 different areas. So one's in the polar what do you want to call it, like bullpen type thing, and they were labeled table 1 through 5. And then we also had each table have its own referee's version, so the referee could double check the people's badges, and then the pullers could see on the different tables where they were going to be. Each table had its list of each class it was going to be presenting on that table. And then from there, it was a matter of, we had sometimes 3 to 2 people running the brackets at all times, running multiple tables at one time, or just running one-to-one type thing. So the combination of me, Denise.
How big of a staff do you need to pull this off?
To pull it off? I mean, there was multiple days where we ran was 2 bracketers, but that was 4 to 5 tables with 2 bracketers. But then there was days that we had 3 as well. So, and then I was constantly jumping back and forth.
So you're saying 2 guys run 5 tables? You don't need 1 guy per table?
No,
bracket?
I mean I've ran 3 tables by myself on one machine. I just wanted to make it as simple as possible because I knew certain days I wasn't going to be running the system all day long. So I made it 1-to-ones per table, but then you could, you'd had 2 machines right in front of you and you could do 2 things at once. And so that the pullers could also see what you're doing, and then the referees could see what you were doing, and everybody was on the same page at the same time. So I tried to make it as simple as possible.
And was this the first IAF?
First IFA Worlds? No, this is the second one.
Oh, I forgot
about
one was
in Poland.
Oh, so you didn't go to that one?
Unfortunately, no, I did not get the chance to go to that one.
Uncle John, have you been to WAF Worlds?
Nope.
How many Worlds have you been to, Corey?
Technically now 3. I've qualified for 1 billion of them, but I've only been to 3 of them.
It's a pretty amazing experience. I got to be honest. Like seeing that many people from like coming all over, it's like, I can't remember. I went maybe 5 or 6.
Even this one with the COVID stuff and all that kind of crap going on, we still had, I think it was 12 or 18 total countries, something like that. I don't remember exact numbers, but I know it was over 10 for sure because I could just count them on the top of my head. But there was no class out of all the classes. There was no class except for maybe masters and juniors where there was just USA guys. There was always a class with at least one overseas person. It just looked like there was a bunch of United States people because we opened it up for everybody to come.
And
so,
you arm wrestled.
Yes, I built. So basically, how this worked is like on Tuesday night, I got there at about roughly 1 o'clock in the morning, and the next morning I woke up, started weigh-ins. I got weigh-ins ready at about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I ran the weigh-ins with a couple other people, and then the second weigh-ins was over, I started building out all the brackets for the next 2 days because I knew most of those people were going to be there. And so I would build the brackets out, get them all randomized, get them ready to go, and then separate them per their table, print out the bracket sheets so that everyone knew where they were supposed to go in what order and everything else. And I was basically up till 10:30, 11 o'clock almost every single night up until Saturday night. Because Saturday night I actually got it preloaded for right-handed beforehand, so I was only up to like maybe 8 or 9 on Saturday. But yeah, basically it was wake up at 6:30, go down to get some food real quick, head to the stage area, get everything turned on, prepped everything else, run it all, get over about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, go get some food, come right back, build all the brackets. Go to
Corey,
until about midnight, come right back.
I get it. Can I ask you a personal question? Did you get paid? Can you get paid for this? Tell me you got more than a hotel and airplane ticket for that work.
I got paid. Yes.
You got paid. Like good money? Like could you live off of it? You had a Worlds every weekend?
No, definitely not that kind of moolah, but worth it for going, I guess, yes.
How much money does it cost to put on a Worlds? Do you know what a budget is? If I want to put on a World Championships, like how much money do we need?
That's kind of a trick question because there's a lot of moving parts in that, and it depends on which organization you're talking about. So, I mean, if you tried to go super cheap, you could maybe get by for under 50,000, maybe.
Under how much?
But probably 50.
Did you say 50 or 15?
50,000. If you were cheap about it.
Wow. Hey, you guys got any questions? Jump in. I don't want to commandeer this.
Yeah.
You gotta think that you got referees, all your referees, all their hotels, all their expenses. That's a huge portion. All your bracket people, all your shirts and supplies, and if you're doing live streaming, if there's internet for that, we paid like I don't even know how much. It was like $1,000 or something just for the friggin' internet. It was ridiculous.
Oh, they charged you $1,000 for the internet?
I don't know the exact number, but it was a lot of money. It was ridiculous. I know that.
Yeah, they charged me. 2007, they charged me $500 to get a connection.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's so dumb. Crazy. Just borrow their Wi-Fi. Tell them to stop being dicks.
Yeah. Uncle John, something
like
for you.
Seriously, they wanted to charge us to hang the flags.
Oh, tell them to hang themselves. That's ridiculous. Charge you to hang flags. Well, dumb. You should have just canceled and gone somewhere else.
All right. So I think maybe we'll just wade. Oh, let me do these 2 super chats first, then we'll wade into something a little bit more juicy, I think. David Kotlow says, Grondin 98% crushes Gary. Changed my mind. Is Ryan Grondin going to crush you?
I'm on vacation. Honestly, I haven't worked out on this little period here, but I'll be back to training. I got full 3 weeks to come back for run. Here's the deal. I watched video on him. I'm a little impressed. I'm more impressed with his marketing skills, but I don't yet know about arm wrestling. I'm going to give it my best to bitch slap the dude. And damn it, I got to call. Somebody tell Grandin to Facebook me his number because I got to call him tomorrow.
Okay. You heard it there. What do you got? David Cotlow also says, Corey, great arm wrestler, terrible DJ.
Oh my God, don't even get me started on that shit. I will go off on all you.
Oh. What do you mean?
I was running brackets. I was doing music. I was displaying videos. I was freaking announcing. I turned on a couple different pod things or whatever, just running some loop, and everyone loses their damn minds.
So your DJ skills are more Miller Lite.
What?
Okay, so here's what I need to know about. Here's what I need to know about. When I spent quite a bit of time watching the live stream and looking on Facebook at some of the themes of what people were talking about, and a lot of people were interested about the drug testing. And at one point, it sounded like they just came in and took a big group of people and drug tested all of them at once. Is that true?
I can tell you that there was, I don't know the people exactly. I mean, I saw a couple of them, but there was multiple days where we grabbed people and did it. Yes.
Names, Corey. Name names. Be a man of the people. Who'd you test?
Oh, wait. Before
I didn't pick the names. I didn't have any part of picking the names or anything. I just know that it happened.
Was it a random thing?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And is it another company, like a drug testing company, that does this?
They do the sample. They do the sample testing for us. Yeah, but the randomization of the names was just, I took the list and clicked some buttons and it pulled out some names, and that's who got it.
Okay. I have to say this for a second because I've come up with 50 amazing business ideas, and I have a business idea. I'm going to tell you, one of you guys should do this because this is good. I looked at drug testing. It's too expensive. There needs to be like a food truck, like a drug test truck that you can invest, like franchisee. You have the truck, have all the equipment, have the 2 guys in the lab coats. You drive to the venue. It's very affordable per athlete. And you boom, every weekend you can hit 1 or 2 events and you can have the results instantly. Somebody needs to franchise that because this drug testing business is far too expensive. If you truly want to like clean up stuff, it's got to be like Burger King, drive through. Anyways, somebody
Gary,
do that.
Do you honestly think that drug testing people is going to prevent people from doing substances?
No, I was telling you this is a business idea. It's completely set. I'm saying if you want to start a business out there, you got to get a drug testing food truck where you drive to the venues and you can charge, I don't know, X amount of $1,000.
For Corey. How does, like, because you guys have put in like a massive effort to run this Worlds in the, the situation that we're all in. How are all the event organizers dealing with the hate from around the world? Because unfortunately, you guys are copping so many body blows. Are you guys reading any of it? Are you just, these guys are wankers or whatever? You're not even thinking about it? Or is it actually bothering, the event organizers from the footage I saw? It looked like a fantastic event.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I did read some of it, and some of it bothered me, specifically when people were whining about people not being tested and whatnot, when they clearly were, and multiple people went on Facebook right away and were saying that they were getting tested right then. So they were just complaining that, and I won't point out certain names, but you guys, I'm pretty sure you can guess, but they were complaining about certain individuals who we all know probably do something, were there and they were competing, but they don't know if they got tested or not, which there's not a list or anything like that for that matter. But the thing that people just don't get is that even at WAF Worlds, not every single person is tested. So could the other 90% of people who didn't get tested be on something? Sure, they could all be on something. But like Gary said, it's not feasible to test every single individual at a world competition. It's just not, it's not in the budget for anyone to be able to do that right now. Would it be nice to be able to do it? Sure. Great. I mean, I would have, if they would have tested me, I would have been fine, but that's not, it's just not numbers wise going to make it happen right now. But, so there was that. And then there is, you know, the comments. What's that?
Corey, just say something. I researched it. If I was going to host a bunch of tournaments and if I wanted to do drug testing, I did the research. And let me tell you, anybody who's giving it some effort to drug test and is actually drug testing some people, dude, you got to give props to that. Do your research. It's not easy to roll out that system. You really are talking shit about something you know nothing about. Because I was like, oh, would the arm wrestlers support this? Would they support a drug tested league? And like, oh, what would I have to do? And it's like a pain in the ass. The fact that they do it all should be given some props.
Yeah, and you got to think that if you start testing everybody, and there is, let's just say there is a whole bunch of people on stuff, those people are either not going to come to your event anymore because they don't want to risk being banned or whatever else it requires, or you're literally looking at potentially finding a whole bunch of positive people, and then you're losing people that come to your events now. So it can be a double-edged sword. You could be doing good, but also ruining all your events at the same time, and you don't even realize it. So it's
Speaking of, how many people need to show up to make an event like this financially like okay, where you're not, you know, in debt and owe the bank?
I mean, that's a hard number to pull out.
I mean, did you guys make that number, whatever it is, the bodies?
I mean, we sure could have used a lot more. You know, I think the total entries was somewhere around 650 or so, give or take. I don't know, because a lot of people showed up, just, you know, countries showed up with people that we didn't know were coming, and people showed up that weren't supposed to be there, you know. So there was, like, pre-entry wise, it was like 600 something, and then increased, it went to like 700s, and then we had people drop out and, you know, stuff like that. So overall it was like 650 or something. But yeah, I mean normal worlds has way over that, like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people, whatever. So it sure could have been a lot bigger.
People?
What's that?
The normal worlds has 3,000.
I think 2010 worlds, I think we had like 2,000 entries or something, I want to say. I mean, I might be guessing wrong, but I thought it was somewhere around there.
Yeah, nice.
Pretty close to it.
Beautiful.
I don't know who posted it, but I read a post. You know, everyone respects Neil Pickup, and Neil Pickup gave a synopsis of why he doesn't give credence to this quote world title. And I was wondering, like, he basically said, I think all the WAF countries, because they have like contracts with the governments, that they can't just like jump over. So that's like a hurdle for the IFA to like try to surpass. And that's why
you're talking about all the countries that get paid to arm wrestle and we don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're talking about that stuff. And yeah, that's a hurdle if IFA wants to bring those people in. Yeah, that's true. But here's my thing. So I'm just going to use an example. Wall says they're a world arm wrestling league, whatever else. Did the original Wall people arm wrestle people from all over the world, or did they just beat one guy? When I won the UAL, I beat one guy from the United States. Was I a world champion?
Okay. So let me when I met Alan Fisher, he said I have like, I don't remember how many.
He's a 26-time world champion because he won the whatever thing.
and like, we all respected those titles back then. We're like, yeah, he's multi-time world champion. Like,
yeah, I mean, there was different countries in my class. I did beat different countries. I did lose to a different country, a left-handed. But so can I say that it wasn't? Could I say I didn't win a Worlds? Not really, but I can say that was the level of competition as close to WAF? Probably not, because WAF has more countries, obviously. But that doesn't mean that the countries that did show and the people that did show weren't that good. I mean, the 195 kilogram whatever class, that class was so freaking stacked with even the United States guys alone. I mean, it was ridiculous. And then the 86 guy, our class, we had what? A Canadian win. We had Canada got second and third, and Brazil won first place. No United States guy even won. So you can't say that wasn't legit. I mean, yes, Carlos Rodriguez does actually live in New York or something like that, but he's from Brazil. So it's hard. It's hard for me because you can't say it wasn't a Worlds because there was people from all over the world there, or what limited people could come with COVID stuff. There was supposed to be a whole bunch more that pre-registered and everything else. But again, COVID, that prevented a lot of people from coming. Do I think it will get bigger? Yeah, I guarantee it'll get bigger. It's only going to get bigger from here on out. So, eventually it will be close to WAP, I would assume.
I, as a content creator, I will promote both worlds. And then guys like Neil Pickup, who are matchmaking, they'll be like, oh, we'll take the IFA champion and the WAF champion and we'll marry them together for some arm wars. If you have any,
if anything,
legitimate...
it helps everybody in a sense, It doesn't hurt much in a sense, but, and people will have their opinions on which one was better or not. And that's fine, it is what it is. But if you're going to say that one isn't legit when somebody literally had to beat someone from another country, that's where I have a problem with this, because technically you had to beat someone from another country to win that tournament. It was not, yes, some people didn't have to beat a person, but there was very limited classes like that. Maybe like masters and whatever.
I will say something controversial here. Perhaps, and no promoter, none of you guys are going to do this, but perhaps there should be a minimum. There should be, let's say, a minimum of 4 countries in a class to be declared the Worlds. And if a class doesn't have that, it's pushed into the next class. So like your light classes that only had like 2 guys, giving them a world title is where, like, a little funny business, they should be pushed up and pushed into another class. Maybe that's...
And that's not a bad idea. I think the biggest problem with most people is that there was so many United States guys that it looked like a massive nationals. But the problem is that there was probably guys who should have been there. There was guys who definitely needed to be there. And then there was all these other overseas guys that were there too. So was it hard? Yeah, there was classes that were ridiculous. I literally couldn't pick a winner, but that's
are the WAF classes identical?
No, there's similar ones, yeah, but not the same. They're similar weights.
Uncle John.
Yes, sir.
Oh, sorry. Somebody messaged in the chat. Did they announce where the next year's is?
Not officially yet. This Congress still has to meet. There's rumors that we're looking at Ukraine or Poland again or something like that. But
it's a funny way to say probably have it in Australia. Have it in Australia.
Yeah, join. All right. I don't know if Australia's in IFA yet, though.
How do we get there? Tell me how to get there. I'll
sign it up. Let's do it.
We'll get Australian. I mean, we can't go down in the shops, but we'll get to IFA.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind going to Australia. That sounds cool.
Adam Addis says, Gary, I will throw $1,000 towards a no-test local world tourney in Oregon and $5 super chat if you take off your super bat. Adam and David, you both owe me $5 super chats because I took it off.
Adam then comes back with, put on an Aussie arm wrestler, put on a seatbelt. You're driving on the wrong side of the road. Just looking out, bud.
Trying to find a seatbelt to put one on, but I'm inside.
How many people?
Can I comment on that James Clark guy's one? Up there it says, if IFA put more money into production and offered higher payouts, more people would show it needs to be worth it for guys from other countries to travel so far. Let me just say something about that. No one, and I mean no one, pays the United States to go anywhere for WAF. So why does the IFA need to pay money out to people for and what is more considered like what the Olympics is, in a sense that no one gets paid to go to the Olympics. It's an amateur event that you get sponsors or whatever else to pay for your ways to get there. Why would the IFA pay for anyone to go or make payouts to go to a world competition? That's not how Worlds is supposed to work. So it's not like Wall or UAL or anything like those were back in the day. It's not supposed to be like that. Yeah,
there is no monetary pricing.
Yeah. All you bitches.
That's not gonna, and that's not going to increase, in my opinion, for an amateur event. That's, I mean, technically speaking, amateur-wise, it's not paid. But
I would be interested to see what your international turnout is if you do host it, like Dab and, the hardcore European.
But does that mean, are you saying that more United States guys would go overseas if they could actually get paid to go there or something like that? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Because
I'm just saying IFA will continue to grow respect once it gets, no disrespect to United States arm wrestling, but on the international scale, if it's like it used to be, the European bloc, they don't respect the USA teams. They think
I agree with you there. They do. But
so on the
offering money is not going to fix that.
No,
offering money is not going to do none of that.
But for the IFA to get more respect just on the world stage, it'll be interesting if non-COVID and it's right there in Europe. Now, is it true that like Igor is banning people if they go to IFA or do something like that? Is that true?
Igor? No.
Are you allowed? Is there any organization saying you can't compete at both worlds?
Okay, so let me clear this up for you, Gary. Thor is not associated with WAF or IFA.
He's PAL.
He's PAL.
But he was banned too if you did something.
Well,
not really.
WAF has placed bans on people who participate in a variety of different non-WAF affiliated events, including IFA and PAL events.
You tell them, Bruce.
If you pull at an IFA or PAL event, WAF may ban you from WAF events.
So it wasn't Igor, it was WAF.
It was WAF. Igor is not WAF. That's the important part.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
But true, like WAF does not want. I mean, you can't win that way, WAF. You got to win. If you want to win, you got to win by being better, not by bullying. I mean, the arm wrestlers just want to arm wrestle.
And that's one reason why a lot of people went to IFA, because they didn't want to be bullied anymore into doing certain things. So, I mean, that's kind of one of the main reasons why IFA was created in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't mind.
So,
I think it's cool.
It's freedom of choice and freedom to go pull where you want and stuff like that.
I just don't like small weight. Like winning a like national champion when there's one person in your class, or you just win the medal. It's like I got the medal, but do you go advertise you won nationals or worlds? It's like that's the one thing
I don't know
get.
what nationals you've ever been to, but I've never been to a nationals where I had to beat just one guy.
Yeah, I
some-
mean,
no,
it's
not.
very lightweight classes, if that's ever going to.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a question I had when I was looking at your bracket. Why are the lighter classes like? It seems like they don't start to get deep until like the 176 range. Where's the 54s at? What happened?
54s had like 17, 18 guys or something like that. The light ones that you're talking about are like the 25-pound, 125s and the 138s or whatever. Those had lighter people in them.
Well, when you put in kilograms, I can't do the math. I thought that was like, of course. I don't know that.
That guy, I mean, Will, that one 125 thing, I think it's 125.
Will Sardi?
I mean, yeah, Sardi, super nice guy, great guy. Just they don't make a lot of humans that size, you know. That's not a normal size person. So
my bad. This is the disrespect the lighter classes.
They're just
smaller. Tell us about your arm wrestling experience. How was your class? Who'd you arm wrestle? Who'd you beat? Who beat you?
So I'll start left-handed. I honestly had I didn't think I was going to even place left-handed because my left hand is horrible, but I went in feeling decent and I came out on second place, but I got to the Georgian. I saw Devon Barry got beat pretty bad the first match against him, so I was a little worried. I pulled him. If I top rolled with him, I felt fine. And then the second he realized that he can't go up high with me, all he did was trying to hook me every single match. So it was like this constant battle of who could get outside or get into a hook fast enough. So the kid was super strong inside. I ended up winning the first one on because he fouled out.
Did you post the match? Do you have them on your channel anywhere where we could look at them?
I think someone posted the left-handed one, but I don't know who. I think it's on the Arm Fighter page or something.
Corey Miller used to film all your stuff. What's up?
Dude, I was running brackets, running music, arm wrestling, telling people where to go, yell at other people because they're dumb. I mean, what else do you want from me? Then the video thing, people over here complain about the music the whole damn time. I mean, it was ridiculous.
What do you mean? What was wrong with the music?
I don't know. I mean, it was like every other time I passed by Bill Schumer for the camera setup stuff, people were whining about stop playing 80s rock and roll and play this.
Oh, that's what
nonstop.
When you guys said Corey Miller was not a good DJ, I thought you were talking about on the mic. You're talking about picking music. I love 80s music. What are you guys talking about? That's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
80s was the best.
I mean, yeah, it was not. I mean, I was doing my best to let it do like a mixture of playlists, you know, and then I get yelled at because some pop music would pop on there and someone would lose their mind, and then I switch it back to AC/DC, and then Bill Schumer's all of his stuff got kicked off of YouTube because too much 80s music. And I mean, it was just constant complaining about the music. I put on like heavy metal and everyone's like, oh my God. It's like,
wait. He demonetized the live stream because of the 80s music?
Yeah, he had to cut all the music off of all the AC/DC songs got blocked.
Yeah. Music's hard to put on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Okay, Uncle John, what weight if you were at the IFA, what weight category would you have been in?
Well, if I would have not got the Arm Wars match, I planned to go to IFA, and I was attempting to be somewhere in the 180 to 190 range. Well, I don't know what the closest class to that was.
If you look at brackets,
so there's 180. He probably been in 86 kilogram, which is like 189.
Yeah.
Who won that?
Something.
Who won that?
Right-handed Carlos Rodriguez, and then second place was the really tall Canadian Matthias guy, and then I think another Canadian got third.
Uncle John, how would you have done? Could you mix that?
Pulled the two Canadian guys. I've never pulled them left-handed. I'm ready to go with anybody under 200 pounds. Though I've not saying I'd beat everybody under 200 pounds, but I'd be ready to go with them. So yeah, I was disappointed that I wasn't able to go because I did want to go, but just Arm Wars kind of supersedes it in my book.
Left-handed, I don't quite remember who won left-handed.
I love all you guys who are running that event. You're all my homies, my familia from back in the day. I wish you nothing but the success. I'm gonna promote. To be honest with you, the WAF was never kind to me.
Yeah,
so disrespectful and like, I don't know. They never appreciated talents. So I probably, if I never left, I probably would have totally been on the IFA train because WAF they never respected. So I'll promote what you guys are doing. World Championship.
One thing that a lot of people were wondering about is the reason why we even used my system to begin with. And, like normally at IFA and Worlds, they use I don't know what you call it, like a pool kind of system where you have like basically two buckets of your winner side and your B side. And then as people pull, they get moved to different buckets. And then the system just goes in, grabs names that brings them out type thing. So the problem with that is that those systems have no way to understand without massive amounts of programming behind it to say, did this guy ever pull this guy? And when they come down to the next side again. And
yeah, you can pull the same guy. You should not be I should not arm wrestle Corey Miller on the A side, and then I go to the B side and I arm wrestle Corey Miller again. Like,
right.
It shouldn't happen.
Yeah, that was
the flaw.
That happens in WAF, and it happens on the IFA system. But the mine, since it's using a true double elimination bracket, that section can only happen in the top 6, and it's on the B side. And there's an arrow on my bracket system that says that right here is top 6, and you need to check these 2 matches to see if they've ever happened up here on the A side. And then if it's possible, because sometimes it's not possible, if it's possible to move the matches, you switch the names or whatever else you need to do to make sure that those guys have never pulled each other. There is the circumstance where all 4 have pulled each other. You can't get around it. There's a circumstance where 3 people out of the 4 have pulled each other, and there's no way to get around it. But if only 2 have pulled each other, then you switch the names around, and everyone's fine from there.
Understood.
But in the current WAF system, that system, how it works, it's physically, without massive amounts of programming to figure out have they ever been matched up before, because you're constantly building new brackets on the fly in a sense. So you'd always have to keep track of every single match, which it would be really hard.
I can't believe you've had any flack. Your system's amazing. Who would anybody who thinks Corey shouldn't be used? You shush it.
Well, if anything, this proves that you can use it in a massive scale and with many, many tables with very minimal staff. We had 2 to 3 people max running the system at all times, and then duplicating it and doing the bullpen thing and all that stuff. Yes, could we have done it better with bigger screens and some stuff? Yeah, we could have probably gotten away with some bigger screens and whatnot, but
listen,
that's all money.
Like that production budget for those big screens, that's not cheap, man. All you guys on the chat, like, hey, donate donate, you want the big screens. Like that's
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey guys, I do have to get up in the morning. It's 3:45 in the morning
Yeah,
over
we
here.
got 2 super chats I haven't talked about yet. Adam said Gary took it off regarding your seatbelt, so he did give that $5 super chat. Very nice. And White Wolf asked, John, are you still going to the Atlantics? Yes, sir. I do plan to be there.
I thank you for the super chats. Question: if I showed up at the IFA Worlds, would I have had stage access, Corey Miller?
I don't know
No.
that for sure.
No,
I
you
am going to probably lean on the thing and say not right away. You would have had to work it out with the other people who had gained that stage access through some contributions to help in the
Gary,
tournament.
that is Corey being polite. He is literally, I'll translate for you and subtitles for everyone watching. He's saying, Gary, not a chance. No, we were streaming it on our own website. Back off, get off our stage. That's, I was translating it for you.
One final question. This whole thing, how did the ability to just show up and arm wrestle at the World Championships, that's like never been done before, right?
So let me point on that real quick. So that right there made it more hectic than anything ever because people were like randomly showing up or whatever else. Most people were pre-registered, I will say that, but there was a bunch that just showed up randomly. I have never been to a Worlds or even a Nationals for that matter where so many people did not make weight. It was unbelievable. Like they were like, oh well, I guess you're going to the next weight class up. So
really,
I mean, it was crazy. Or they pre-registered for one weight class and they end up pulling the other one. They're like, I just didn't want to cut weight. I've never seen that ever.
Oh, I hate when people do that. Hate it.
How
Hate it when
many
they don't make weight.
How many people miss weight? Like ballpark? 10,
Off the top of
20?
my head, I can think of like 20, 30 people off the top of my head.
Wow. That's interesting.
Way more than there should have been.
Yeah.
Lazy.
As far as that,
Lazy.
as far as that experiment goes, that's never happening again, right? You will have to qualify for any future Worlds unless COVID continued and crazy shit.
Now, I will say this, since I built all the pre-registrations, if the people who did pre-register actually showed up, the tournament would have roughly, and the people who showed up randomly, the tournament would roughly have been, I don't want to say double, but it would be pretty damn close to double the size.
Wow.
Because with all the COVID stuff going on and whatnot, there's a whole bunch of extra countries that were pre-regged and whatnot. And then there's people who signed up who didn't actually show up type thing. So if those people would have showed up, it would have been twice as big. And it would have been huge classes. I mean, the 95 class, I think at one time, before I had removed all the people that didn't show, was like 52 people. It'd have been insane.
I forgot. This is one thing I want to know. Was anybody paying attention to Devon Larratt boxing while the tournament was going on? Were you guys talking about it? You're like, what's happening with that?
No offense to boxers, but I am not a boxer. I have no plans to be a boxer. And the answer to that question is no. No.
Nobody.
Honestly, I never saw the boxing match. Someone told me afterwards they got knocked out, and that was it. And that was all I heard.
You never watched it?
I never watched it. I watch arm wrestling. I'm an arm wrestler. I'm not no boxing, whatever. I mean, I used to be a wrestler back in the day, but that's not whatever. But I'm an arm wrestler. I don't do boxing.
I know, but he's an ambassador for the sport. So
then be an ambassador for the sport and do arm wrestling. Don't be a boxer. Go beat Levin and prove everyone wrong.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, White Wolf said, John, are you still going to the Atlantics?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I am.
You guys are welcome to hang out. It's 3:00. I got to go to bed.
Yeah,
I love you all.
I got to head out as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, we'll just end it there.
All right, everybody.
Hey, Corey, one final question. Why didn't you ever get into the social media content business? build a channel. John Brasink is now a content creator.
I want to
You
do
just
that
called
thing
out
with
everyone.
Uncle John. I totally do want to do that thing. I think our first one went fine, you know.
Yeah.
I do have plans to just with this selling the house. I got sidetracked, but I will be calling you.
Okay, because yeah, I mean, I really want to do that one. I think that's probably my best avenue for doing something like that. I just don't have the time to build content like you guys do, but I'm more willing to help make that part of it happen.
Well, I'm sorry I got sidetracked. I was trying to sell a house, and crazy life. You know, life is crazy. But hey, everyone in the chat, Ryan Blue Bowen, I was tuned in just as you end the show. Hey, I looked on Ryan Blue Bowen's stats. He had 1 million or something views last month. Holy shit, bro.
Who was the #1 channel for live commentary for Devon and Thor?
Yeah.
This guy. It just
Big
took
job.
Ryan Bowen to be out in the middle of the woods with not good Wi-Fi. That's all it took.
Yeah.
It was awesome though, Uncle John. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So left-handed Uncle John, Eli Sandov,
Sight of, yeah.
he won. He beat Martius, and then he also beat Ali.
Hamadaya.
Who won that class? Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm interested to pull Ali. I want to pull him. He's. I definitely want to see where I'm
He
at.
came back from the B side and beat Martius on the B side.
Yeah.
I just want to pull anybody. I haven't done anything in 2 months. It's madness here. They're like, I'm just reading things. The police are shooting at people in Melbourne. It's just madness here.
Okay,
So,
before
I won't be arm wrestling for a while. So you just have to put up with my loud, annoying voice on the YouTube.
Okay, for the chat to end the show, I've got to add more money to my staking, but I promise by tomorrow I will stake $75 more for Uncle John up to 150. So whoever's match, I'm gonna stake 75 tomorrow. I gotta add. It won't do it unless I add credits. So match
says no.
Bitch. All right, guys, I gotta go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for being here. Everybody go check out little Aussie arm wrestler action over on YouTube. Uncle John here, Corey Miller, thanks for being with us. Gary Roberts.